I have a few issues going on for a few years, wondering if there will be a breakthrough. Moving home location, new career, not sure which area. Okay. I have two different cards, and normally when I do reading for people, it means we're talking about two different topics. So I guess we'll see if that applies here, because if you're wondering about a breakthrough or moving or career, that's 3. So let's see what comes through here. This one feels like this is career. That's clear. And this one, it's just general breakthrough. It feels like it's more of general breakthrough, which applies to everything. That's kind of how it keeps being tiered. It feels like it's career, and then it's like ripple effect in the rest of your life. And maybe some of it stems from some sort of a decision that you make about your career or the path or what you want to do. Have you thought about, I just like continuing education or going back to school? So continuing education could be like a certification or something like that. I'm getting something about that. And I don't know if that has to do with wanting to pivot, because often if we have to switch industries, then maybe we're needing to really do something totally different, or if it's helping us get to the next level, then if we're doing some sort of a certification or training program, or if we're going back to school. I'm getting a bunch of things coming through, and I don't know if they're all for you. Because I'm getting something about like nursing too. I don't know what your career is. I don't know if this is how you carry yourself at work, or if you happen to actually be in something that is adjacent to or literally nursing. I don't know. So I'm just gonna feel free to share whatever you want in the chat. I'm just gonna tune in more on this, but I'm getting inundated with a bunch of different things. Okay. I don't know. It feels like there's something that feels caretaking about it. I'm at an impasse, not sure whether to return back to work, off at the moment, or to leave. So am I getting the caretaking piece? Like, are you not at work because you are caretaking? Is that why that's coming through? No, have been unwell. So caretaking of myself. So did you connect more to the first reading about taking the pause or like releasing some of the control? I'm getting this is quick before jumping into the first card. I know we've kind of been talking around this topic, but I'm already getting nudged like one more thing, and then I'm already flipping it over as to kind of address this career question, because really your question is more succinct of, do I do it or do I not do it? And now is now the right time. I keep getting something about it being like the divine timing. And when you are nursing yourself back to health, like with that first reading, we are getting into ease. We are trying to connect more to what's around us, having that insight drop in to know, yeah, this is totally the first reading. Like, what am I doing? Where should I go? Should I stop? Should I refill? Should I pivot? Should I keep going? I'm just seeing like it's like pulling a parachute, like when you release the parachute out. And I know this is no different from either of them, but it feels like when you're up there, you can impart control where you land, but not fully. You can kind of steer yourself a little bit, but you're probably not going to hit the exact spot. You can get the general area. But while you're up there, while you're suspended, while you are not hurtling towards the earth, while you are easing towards the earth, going slowly down towards the earth, you're able to figure out from that vantage point where it feels safe to land. That's kind of how it's coming through. It doesn't feel like that's an issue to prioritize what feels like it will be comfortable for you, because it's about your safety. It's about your general well-being. So if you're going from, I'm trying to care for myself, well, let me go back to work, let me do this, let me do that. Well, we don't want to throw ourselves completely out of whack because we still have to do more healing. Like if you're not at 100%, then the thing that we're choosing to do, it's making sure that we still, reading number 2, that we have enough left in the tank. Because otherwise we're going to exacerbate whatever is going on with us and we're not going to be able to recharge. And in fact, I'm seeing it's like, it's going to fray us. It's more of like a burnout situation. Okay, I can flip the card over. Ah! Okay. I'll have to look this one up. King of Wands. I've literally never seen this card. King of Wands. Kings in general are about mastery. And wands are typically about inspiration. Sometimes a little creativity, but inspiration, action. So when we are mastering the wielding of our personal power, you're controlling that parachute, you're guiding it to where it will land so that you can keep your flame going. That's how this is feeling. So this does feel like this lines up. I'll check on the card, but it does feel to me like what I am saying. We're making sure that we're maintaining the flame. We know how to keep that flame alive, and we know how to hopefully not burn out, which is kind of the point here. I'll check to see what the book says to verify. Thank you for your patience. Confident and powerful, radiate success through every aspect of their life. Got to tell yourself that. That's how this feels. Inventive spark that seeds the intelligent design of our worlds. The king is passionate, illustrious, and a visionary beyond words. So there's motivation, leadership. It's coming across to me like it's taking charge. It's taking charge of your energy, like what we've been talking about, taking command of your life and what you are growing towards, what you're moving towards. Some of that calling as well. I'll actually show the card. I don't think I showed it or didn't show it up close, but I just keep getting that whatever it is that you choose, you have the power to choose. Like I'm not supposed to be telling you like the thing to do, but you in this time away, it's about protecting your energy. That if you're going to go back, it's something that inspires you, that makes you want to get up every day and do it rather than burning you out and completely draining your tank so that you are exacerbating any health issues or challenges that you have. Because this is about keeping your flame going in a way that it is not exhausting, that it is not blowing it up too much so that you are burning to a crisp everything around you, remaining calm in the management oversight of what's lighting you up, of what you're trying to chase. I just keep getting things about different skills. I think I said continuing education before. There's something in there in the mastery piece. So even if the thing that you're trying to do, or maybe before you go back, maybe you are taking a course or doing something or you're learning something, but I keep getting also just an emphasis on a bit of the mastery piece with the continuing education, and I'm getting nudged already. The second card is supposed to be about general breakthrough. So some of that is coming through gaining more of an understanding. Receiving, you're in the pause, you're receiving, your understanding about yourself, what lights you up, what inspires you, what your limits are, because we can't be burning out. This is the priority here. We cannot be frying ourselves. And that feels like it's part of the lesson in the breakthrough for you. How do I know when I've reached my limits? How do I know to listen to that whisper within me? The intuitive calling of what is lighting my path forward. Okay, and it feels like this is supposed to be helping us with that. How fascinating. Okay, so there's two different interpretations of this card. So this is the Lover's card. Sometimes it's literally about relationships. So it could be how you are having this breakthrough, the support and you understanding yourself and your teachings could have to do with maybe a relationship that you're in. Also, oh my gosh, love, hilarious. Two, the balancing of the divine feminine and masculine, the conscious and subconscious. That's what we've been talking about here. How do we balance the fire? The drive, the action. It's like what we talked about with the original two readings. One was water, one was the sun. One was yin energy, divine feminine, receiving, taking the sacred pause, connecting to our intuition. And the other one was the yang, divine masculine. We are acting. We are present in our body. We are propelling ourselves. We are moving forward. That is the fire here. And you can even see it here. They are in water. And when we are being asked to create harmony here, how do we align the duality within ourselves? The calling for us to rest, to heal, to receive insights versus the desire to have a breakthrough, like you were saying, to go out and do something, make something happen. That's the yang. That is the divine masculine energy. But divine feminine also has creation in it. Things can be created in a way that is working with our intuition, working with our creativity, with connection with the collective versus the forward action of inspiration, of calling. Understanding our passion, understanding what's calling to us, knowing, is it a whisper? Is it getting louder? Making sure that if we decide that we want to go back to work because we really are feeling called, that something that we're choosing does not burn us out. We have to master it. We have to make sure that we've learned enough so that when we go back in, that we can master our energy, that we can keep it in check. And in turn, we're balancing that divine feminine and masculine energy, the yin and the yang energy. And or we're connecting with others, maybe some sort of a support network. Specifically, if you have a partner, they could be a support system for you. But both of these really feel to me like what we're talking about is balance, is we can do this, we can make change happen, but at all costs, we must be balancing within ourselves, how we're talking to ourselves, how we're operating, what our energy is doing, checking in with our intuition, making sure we're setting ourselves up to receive. It's the give and take. On the nail, that is what I'm unsure of. To go back and look for something else. Believe with face package, Taurian by nature, yes, security. I feel I need to take a deep dive as work does not inspire me. This is exactly what you just said. That is what we're thinking about here. Taurian, earth. We're talking about fire. We're talking about water. So we're dipping a little bit into some different energies for you. And the security piece, totally understood. And that's why it matters, because you don't want scorched earth. You want to feel supported. You want to create balance. The water works with earth. So this is why this was coming through as like, this is the tool for how you get there, but this is what you're seeking. This has really resonated. Thank you. You're welcome. Please feel free to keep me updated on how this goes. I know, and sometimes with readings, again, they're all different. I wasn't giving you any sort of do this, do that, because it is up to you, and it's so up to what's going on with your body, with your motivation, with your sense of inspiration, your call to action. It has to come from within you. I'm getting a fast track, propelling forward. Fits with this week as well, because both of these are about momentum. It's about moving forward. But what's interesting is it feels more like the first reading in that we're going horizontally rather than vertically, but it feels faster like the second one. So we're in some kind of an intersection that's bridging between the two of them. It feels like you're going fast, but like, where are you going? What's the thing that you're going to? And how do you get yourself to stop? Like, how do you hit the brakes? How do you hit the brakes on it? Because you can go fast. We have to know how to stop. We have to know where the finish line is, what the banner says, where it is that we want to stop, or are we just going? In any fashion, when you are racing, you know that there is an outcome. You're trying to get in first. You know that you're trying to score X amount of points. Like, there's something about that. We have to know when the finish line is. We have to know how to end it. I'm moving very fast in my job without being trained. Oh gosh. Okay, that makes sense too. But that, I guess I'll ask you the question that is coming in, and maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but maybe it's a question for the people that are not training you that should be. What's the end goal? What's the end goal of said training that's not happening? Like, where are you supposed to be? Where is the sense of direction? Like, making sure that you're clear so that you can actually get up and move forward. Because otherwise you're just speeding around. You're speeding around this track, and it's like, well, am I just going to keep speeding and speeding and speeding and never stop? And how do I know once I've learned what I'm supposed to be learning? How do I know when I've hit a milestone and I've achieved what I'm supposed to so I can get off? I'm going to get motion sickness. I'm going to be throwing up. Sorry to get graphic. That's just how it feels. It's like, if the race has to end, if you're just like sliding around this track endlessly, it's disorienting. It's completely throwing off all sense of equilibrium. And we have to know when the race ends. We have to know the ending point. Because also psychologically, that gets to us too. If we're like, okay, I'm still going. It's like you're running on a hamster wheel. Well, the hamster wheel doesn't stop. It doesn't go anywhere. It's stable. So it's like you're just running in place. Well, then is it that you stop because you just say, I'm just going to hit the brakes? I'm just going to decide I'm going to get off? Or instead of a hamster wheel, the hamster is in one of those ball things that they roll around on the floor, and then they could decide to stop in some location. So it feels like understanding the end of the track, placing the flag, and I don't know why I keep getting the figuring out what the banner says. So being able to label your achievement, being able to label that milestone and give yourself an ending point, even if they won't give it to you. I'm supposed to be training others, but I don't have time to train anyone I'm supposed to be teaching. Yeah. Yeah. So what I was just last saying, if they're not, whoever's supposed to be training you, if they're not giving you the milestone within reason, power, ability of what you have, having to write that banner yourself and figuring out what the end is, what the stopping point is, to say, all right, that's what one lap represents. This is what the end of the race looks like. And then you can decide if you want to race again, or that you can do a different kind of race and work some other skills. But if you're just going around and around and around and around and around, then there's so many risk factors to that, to how you are functioning and flowing through the world. And it's like you lose what we keep talking about with the week ahead readings, is being able to gain perspective. At a certain point, it's like I've lost count of how many times I've gone around. I don't even know where I am. I don't even know how long I've been doing this for. Like, losing the sense of time. And we have to be able to ground into something. And if we can give ourselves lap markers, we can mark the finish line, then we can understand where we are in time and in progress and with our growth journey. So whatever you were able to figure out or assert or request of leadership to set whatever this milestone is, so that you have a place to stop, because you need to be able to stop and have an achievement marked And then maybe, 2 days later, you start it again, but at least like you have a marked achievement. One, literally for your growth, like for depending on the kind of business you're in or the company you're in, like they do reviews. And so you have to be able to say, well, I did these things within this certain period of time, like being able to track it. Like, what did I accomplish this year? Well, if what you're doing is just kind of indefinite and you can't put parameters around it, then how are you supposed to say that something's ever been done? It's not complete because it's always continuing to go, and you want to mark a win. You want to have an accomplishment in. So if you're saying I have to train other people, well, an accomplishment would mean you've effectively trained someone. How do you know it's effective if you don't know what it means to finish the race? If you haven't finished, if you haven't mastered this skill, and then you master that skill, and then you master that skill, and that's what each of the laps are, each of the separate races are. If you haven't marked them, then you can't mark them for the people that you're training. So you can't say what's a win or not, what you've achieved, what they've achieved, and be able to articulate that or give yourself or these people that you're training any sense of self-efficacy, confidence to achieve more and do more, because we don't know what more is. We're just in a big thing that's spinning around over and over and over again, and we don't know when it stops. I tell you, week over week, these cards have a sense of humor. It's a new deck, and it's still laughing. The card I have pulled for you is Wheel of Fortune. I've been sitting here talking about going around and around and around and around and around, and isn't that a wheel? The Wheel of Fortune is about karma. And it's about even something like the breakthrough stuff we were talking about before. It's the divine timing. It's great. Now we can do this. Now you can see the path ahead. So you have the road in front of you to be able to go down it, but you have markers. Okay, I passed the first Sphinx. Now I got through the threshold. Now I went through the doorway. So we're combining all of these ideas with each other. And the karma piece is what goes around comes around. And you can take that in whatever way makes sense for you. But for your journey, if you are positioning yourself where you are going around and around and around and around and around to the point of, I am drained. This is making me feel sick. This is making me feel disoriented. I don't know which way's up and down. Why am I even doing this? What's a win? What's not a win? Where is this even going? What's even happening? Then that gets passed on to the people you're training. And then it happens to them. And it's going to keep going. And it becomes karma, if you will, for the people instructing you who are supposed to be telling you what to do, that it causes a ripple effect of chaos, that it could cause people to leave the company, cause dysfunction, dissatisfaction, etc. So you have the ability to right the hand, to reset that compass in the way that you want it to go, to get it to stop spinning. And the divine timing piece, it's trusting your gut. That's why I was saying at the very, very beginning, it's up to you. You can, if they're not going to tell you what a milestone is, you decide what the milestone is. All right, well, I'm marking this here. And you can bring that to them if you would like. But it just seems like I just keep getting, there need to be markers. There need to be milestones. You need to be able to contain this so that there can be wins for you, and that you're not passing on this karma, if you will, to these trainees. When you can get more clear, you can help them, you can help right the ship. Doesn't mean you can fix the management above you that's doing something they shouldn't be doing, but you can right the ship. You can change what is happening going forward. Shift that karma, and you can get that back. That reward for the effort that you put in, for the care that you put in supporting other people, and supporting and honoring yourself and all the hard work that you have. This makes so much sense. Thank you so much for this. This helps me be more confident and changing what's happening. I care so much about my job and the people I work with. Yes. Yes. And I love to hear that as somebody who teaches, mentors, was a people manager, has done a lot of trainings. Your students, your trainees will thank you. That's the karma that you get back. I feel so much better. Good. For all the new people, I'm so glad that you joined this week and that we all went on this fun journey together of Renee using tarot cards in a reading for the first time on someone that's not herself. I've been using them on myself, but I haven't read other people with them. We did it. Yay. For anybody who missed it, because I haven't shown it since the very beginning, the card deck that I was using today was the Moonchild Tarot Deck.